International, I guess, is different from domestic flights. Domestic. Hey everyone, this is Sheila E. So I'm supposed to be in Japan right now celebrating my birthday, but I'm not because I missed my flight. Yep, I missed my flight. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I missed my flight and steps to take when you do travel internationally. I made it a tradition to travel like every year on my birthday, and this year I was going to go to Japan. I was so excited because I was going to celebrate my big 3-0. My flight was at 11:45 at JFK, and once I finally got to New York, it was around like 6-ish. I met up with my friend to catch up. We had dinner, and mind you, my phone was already dying, and I did have a portable charger, and that was also dying. Once I finally got on the train, which was the A train, my phone died. To get to JFK, there's 2 A trains, and you have to take the correct A train. I finally realized that I was on the wrong train once it reached its last stop. I took the other train back to the stop that would get me on the right A train to the airport. Once I finally got to the stop, I was waiting on the correct A train, which took about 30 minutes. And I really wanted to call an Uber or a taxi, but I couldn't because my phone was dead. There was nowhere for me to charge my phone. And with New Yorkers, I don't think they trust people asking them for their phone. Finally, the train comes. Guess what? That train was messed up. So I had to wait again for another train to come. Once I got off the JFK stop, it was about like 10:35. There's another train to lead you to the airport. And guess what? That train was also messed up. So I had to wait another like 7 minutes or 10 minutes. So once I got to the airport, I went to the ticket counter, and it was 10:50. And mind you, the ticket counter closes at 10:45. So basically it was like 5 minutes difference when I got to the airport. And I spoke to the lady and I was like, hey, can I check in my bag? And she was like,
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Excuse me?
We close an hour before your flight leaves.
I was like, that's fine. I'll just take my bag in the plane. And she was like, you can't do that either. You have to get a boarding pass. Well, I did check in online, and I do have my online boarding pass. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go through. She's like, no, you have to have an actual physical boarding pass. I was just like pleading for her. I was like, can you please just, she was like, no, I'm sorry. She was like, I don't want to lose my job, which I get, that's a rule, but at the same time, I just feel like she just needs to be more sympathetic as far as in her tone. She was extremely rude. One of the workers at a Philippines airline. I was just crying. I was charging my phone. So some older guy comes up to me and he was like, are you okay? What's wrong? Because I'm just like bawling my eyes off. My makeup is running. And I was like, I missed my flight. In my head, I'm thinking he's going to tell me, it's okay, baby, I got you. How much is the ticket? So I was like, I explained everything to him, and I was like, and they said it's gonna cost about $1,000 for a ticket, and he was like, oh, okay. And he just walks away. So that is my story of how I missed my flight. If you do want to take international flights, these are the steps that you have to take. My past experience and this experience really taught me a lot. If you book from a travel agent or if you book from an actual airline, make sure you have a travel insurance. Make sure your policy date matches when you travel, just because you never know what can happen. A lot of like travel agents or even airlines, they do have like a cancellation policy. Make sure you also get that. It's additional cost, it's not that much. If you book your flight from a travel agent, they do send you information, but just to be on the safe side, always go directly to the airline and find all their policies as far as like when the ticket counter closes and how long you have for you to board the plane, just because the actual airline is much more safer than the travel agent. Just because you do an online check-in and you have an online boarding pass, that does not mean that you can take that through TSA. For international flights, you have to have an actual physical boarding pass. I did not know that. Domestic, you don't have to. You can use an online boarding pass for domestic for domestic flights. I can't even pronounce that. But international, you need an actual physical boarding pass. And my last tip is, if you do book a place in another country, make sure there is a cancellation policy that you can have your refund back, because where I booked my where I was staying at was agoda.com, and there is no cancellation policy, so I'm not getting my money back. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me rant about how I missed my flight. And hopefully the tips I gave you are good enough. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.